Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/Entitled Parents. In today's episode, Karen parked in my driveway that claimed the house was hers. My child is turning 2 and I have an update. Mother has invited herself on vacation with me. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Karen parked in my driveway that claimed the house was hers. So I am a 14-year-old male and my family recently moved into a house in a new estate. This estate had a park that was massive. My house is on the main road of the estate and its garage is on the other side on another road, and we are close to the park. About 2 months ago they hosted an opening ceremony for the park. A lot of people came, people from the surrounding areas came as well. Me, my brother and my parents left our house and walked down to the park. Due to all the traffic there were people to manage it. Once we get there we see a car parked in our driveway. My dad is a calm dude usually, but he doesn't like stuff like this. Me and my brother, 18 years old, go up to one of the workers and tell him that the car in there wasn't ours and we don't want it there. The worker tells us he saw the people parked there and kind of remembers what they look like. We tell him that it would be good if we get the car moved. He says he will try find her. About 20 minutes later, we see him walking up to the car with a lady and her son who looked to be about 9. She walks up there and we see her starting to get angry. Naturally, we walk up to see what's happening. This is the conversation that happened, not 100% accurate, it's been a while. Karen, I don't understand why you want me to move my car. I live here. Worker, well they say that you don't and I don't see why they would bring this issue here unless it was true. Karen, they are clearly lying. I live here. My brother, ma'am please. I live here and I even have keys to the house, please move your car. Karen, bullshit, complete bullshit. I have lived here for a year and watched this park get built. Our house was finished 5 months prior to this. My brother, okay then, what 2 cars are inside the garage then? Karen, a Volkswagen and a Mazda. My brother, nope, a VW Jetta and a Hyundai i45. Karen, that's not true, I'll open the garage and show you. As she scuffles through her handbag, my brother opens the garage. My brother, there, that's the evidence. Closes the garage. Worker, it's not your house so please leave. She gets in the car and leaves while looking very angry. We didn't think to call the cops because nothing major happened, but it was funny to see her lying out of her ass and getting proven wrong. P.S. I hope the man with a dog named Hugo sees this, love your content. Also I meant and in the title, sorry. Sadly too many resort to lying and then get angry when proven to be liars. Icker, did she expect that we wouldn't be able to prove ourselves or that somehow she would be believed? This happened to my mom. There was a big parade in her small town and Soul would just park wherever. She had just got off her morning shift and came home to find people parked in her driveway and hanging out on her porch and using her patio set on her deck. A few people had even borrowed her camping chairs, which she keeps in the corner of her patio. She asked them if the cars belonged to any of them, they said they did, but that they lived there and she could F off to park elsewhere. She was like whatever and parked behind the vehicles sideways, thus blocking all of them in. The group was screaming at her to move her car or they will call the cops on her. She just smirked and unlocked her side door and went in the house. She said it was hilarious hearing the people panicking because they realized they messed up. They called the local police on her when she refused to move her car. She is friends with the police, super small town. They laughed and said technically they couldn't force mom to move her car since she was parked legally in her own driveway. Mom finally moved it and told them she wouldn't have had a problem if they hadn't decided her lawn chairs and patio were theirs to use. She scolded them and said they should park to the side so the homeowner could still park and to sit their asses in the tree lawn like normal people do. Was she parking mad? Very punny face savoring food. Sadly, people parking on others' property is a way too common occurrence. I never understood why nobody ever thinks to just knock or ring the doorbell and ask if it's alright to park there for a few hours. Doubt many people would decline if asked politely and given a proper explanation why. If she ever shows up again and parks her car, call the police right away. Cars can be towed if left on someone's property. Heck, I used to live in a house where people parked so badly on a street it created really bad blind spots. I couldn't have the car towed, it was a public street, but the police got so many complaints about these cars they constantly came out to ticket them. Most of the time, they wouldn't come back after being ticketed. Do you have security cameras that could have gotten her license plate? Technically, what she did was trespassing, and it's illegal. My child is turning 2 and I have an update. When I gave birth to my baby boy almost 2 years ago, my entitled sister was a train wreck and I kicked her out. I was NC with her and then LC with her when my son's father was spiraling into addiction and physically abusing my child and I. That is a long story of my ex beating me within an inch of my life and hurting my son and I. On my son's first birthday, I stupidly invited my NC mom. My son is her only grandchild. She showed up, didn't hold my child once, and proceeded to tell my neighbors I'm a good single mom because of her. She didn't spend any time with my son. When I noticed she was trying to leave, I said, "Mom, don't you want to spend time with your only grandchild? Can you hold him and I can take a picture of you both?" That picture is the only one in existence because my mom gives zero shits about her only grandchild. She fled immediately and life goes on. In 2 years, my life has become take care of my son and work plus help with the custody battle. I live in a state where pot is legal. The 2 times my mother came out to see my son and I, the whole time, all she cared about was going to the pot shops and exploring the state, instead of spending time with my child. She would have me drop my son off at great-grandma's house, who was more than happy to watch him. The very few times he went with us anywhere, she was more worried about the fact that we couldn't do everything that she wanted to do because we had him with us. She barely held him while she was here. And she was visiting for about a week each visit. My mother has literally never been within 500 miles of my kids. She had an opportunity to be here and I could have been near her, but I hate her current life partner and will not expose my kids to him. My grandma is a rock in this situation. My kids are in double digits and I'm a better mom than she's ever been. Mother has invited herself on vacation with me. I've had a crappy year so far, scarlet fever, major car accident, going through divorce, so when I was selected for a place in Tokyo Marathon next year, I couldn't believe my luck. Honestly, I feel so warm inside just thinking about it. Then I text to my mother that I got a place in Tokyo Marathon and immediately she started planning a trip without telling me. I spoke to her on the phone a few days later and she spoke about hotels and flights she found. I said, "No worry, I'll arrange it all. I'm going to be very hotel specific the days before and night after the marathon. After that I'm going to travel to other regions." She went silent on the phone and said, "But I don't want to do that." I was so confused. I asked her what she meant and she explained how she wanted to stay in one place and not move around again. I was so confused and was like, "What?" She explained how she thought she'd come. I've spent the past few days explaining my initial itinerary to her, to which she just replies that she doesn't like it. I've done my best gently to convince her that I don't think this trip is for her. She hates walking, is a picky eater, is easily frustrated, gets annoyed and anxious in crowds, but not just that, I couldn't imagine leaving her alone during marathon day, which starts and ends in different parts of the city. I haven't been able to arrange anything because she is convinced she's coming. I know she won't like it. She has never expressed an interest in Japan, has even complained about Asian people. I just do not want the responsibility of dealing with her outburst and helping her regulate her emotions. I suggested we take a vacation together to Spain in the summer and she seemed pleased but is still adamant she coming with me. It's actually making me so stressed that I don't want to go anymore or wish I never told her. I don't know how to let her down gently but firmly without her being upset with me. Please help, she's so entitled. Why are you still telling her about your trip to Tokyo? Thanks for the thought, Mom, but this is a solo trip. You are not 12, you don't need her permission. I'm sorry, but I will be taking this trip alone. You are not invited. I will see you when I get back. Speak up, otherwise you're going to have a ball and chain following you all around Japan. You are not a child. No one asked her to come, so she will not be traveling with you. Stop telling her your itinerary. What the hell? Just stop talking to her about your Tokyo plans. Thank you for all the advice. I've just jumbled together some advice from the comments and texted it to her. I'm keeping it a solo trip as it was intended. Haven't given any more info apart from it was a solo trip from the start. It's for sport and I plan to travel around with a suitcase. She has a thing about suitcases. Without giving her anything to retaliate against, she just text back okay. Just make your plans and politely inform her it wasn't an invitation. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.